Hey there, Ramon Osa with you here, and today we're talking about mental toughness, and specifically I want to give you 4 ways to get over a bad point so that it doesn't turn into a bad string of points, a bad game, and potentially a bad match. And if you've played tennis long enough, you've probably had this, where you've got your opponent running side to side, he's running around like a chicken with his head cut off, and you get up to the net and maybe you dump an easy volley into the net, or you just totally whiff on a ball that had absolutely no pace on it. And it can drive you absolutely crazy. So in this video, I'm going to give you 4 ways to kind of get over that and immediately put yourself back on the path to success. So what do we do if we have a bad point? Well, the first thing we have to understand is our mind is our biggest ally, potentially, and it's also our biggest competitor, potentially. And we definitely want it to be an ally as much as possible. However, when you have a bad point, a lot of times what happens is you get that inner critic going, right? Oh, you suck, or I can't believe I missed that shot, or man, a beginner would have made that shot. And we have to understand that that's just what the mind does. All right, our mind is like, I don't know, 1,000,000 years old or something, and it was designed to keep us alive, not necessarily to make us feel good or help us win tennis matches. So that's like the ante to the game. So how can we start to quiet that inner critic? Okay, the first thing I'm going to recommend to you is some form of mindfulness, meditation, or presence practice. And it really is a practice. It's something that won't have an immediate effect on your game, but it'll have a compound and exponential effect the more you do it. And the really good news is you don't have to like sit on a cushion in a tunic, and chant ohms for 40 minutes to experience the benefits of this. So what this mindfulness or meditation or presence practice is going to do is it's going to allow you to kind of distinguish the difference between what's real and what is just a thought in your head. Okay, and what tends to happen, and what used to happen to me all the time, is I would have this thought in my head and I would just think, well, that's the truth. If I'm thinking it must be true, right? Well, that's not necessarily the case. In fact, if you really stop to think about some of the thoughts that you have on a regular basis, you'll see that a lot of them are not true, and they're just things that you've accepted as truth. So what mindfulness and what presence is going to do is it's going to allow you to kind of watch those thoughts and not get all tangled up in them and not get all kind of bundled up. And that's going to allow you to start to remove some of the negative emotion with your mind, and it's also going to allow you to be a lot calmer in general. I started meditation a few years back when I was trying to get rid of some pretty destructive habits in my life, and it's been awesome. So that's something you can do right now that'll start to have an exponential effect the longer you do it and the more regularly you do it. But what if you're playing a match tomorrow? What do you do if you're on the court tomorrow and you're going to have a couple of bad points here and there? I mean, everybody does. So what can you do like now? Well, the first thing I would do is start to develop some sort of positive ritual that you do between every point, every game, every set, and every match. And what I mean is, you ever watch Rafael Nadal? And he, in between every point, he picks his wedgie, he wipes his sweat off his nose like 18 different ways. He tucks his hair. He's got this whole song and dance that he does. And I don't know if he's doing this consciously or not, but he has anchored a certain feeling in his body that gets brought up every time he does that motion, every time he does that move. It's kind of like that guy Pavlov with the dogs, where he'd ring a bell and he'd present food to the dog. And then, so the dog would salivate when he saw the food, and then he'd salivate when the food was with the bell, and then ultimately it would just salivate when it rang the bell. So that's what you're doing when you develop a ritual that puts you into a calm, positive state of mind, and you do that ritual every single time before you go to hit your serve or before you go to return your serve, and it immediately starts to put you into that state of mind that's going to make you a heck of a lot more resourceful and help you win a bunch more points. Now, the third thing you can do is give yourself something positive to focus on before every point. Because what tends to happen is if we have a bad point, immediately we start thinking about that bad point. And we start thinking about how we mishit the ball, or that we missed an easy shot, or that, we double faulted or whatever. So what you need to do, because our mind cannot focus on 2 things at once, it's literally impossible. So we're going to nudge out that critical kind of destructive thought, and we're going to welcome in a positive thought. Okay, so for example, if you're going to hit a serve, you might just think to yourself over and over again, I want to get my toss in the perfect spot, or I'm going to hit this serve out wide, or I'm going to serve and volley. If you're getting ready to return serve, you might think, okay, I'm going to move in and I'm going to split step right as he's hitting the ball, or I'm going to return this ball deep, or it's something. Okay, so you give your mind something positive, something concrete, and something simple to focus on. So you're not going to say, all right, I'm going to hit this ball cross court, then I'm going to run around, I'm going to hit an inside out. You're off to the races, right? Just keep it really simple, keep it positive, and keep it concrete. Okay, something that you can do. Now I realize this is a lot easier said than done, especially when in the heat of competition, because we want to win, right? We want to play well, we want to win, we want to beat that guy that we've been trying to beat for a long time. And that's why number 4 is so important, and that's forgive yourself if for some reason you don't control your thoughts and emotions very well. You have to have the ability to step back and say, you know what, I lost my cool that last game, or I lost my cool that point, but it's okay, because next point's a new point, and I have a chance to play really well here. If you're looking for help on a specific area of your game, check the description down below and see all the free resources I have for you down there. Almost couldn't talk. And in the meantime, if you found this video helpful, do me a favor and click the like button, and let me know in the comments, what do you do to get over a bad point? What specific areas of your game do you need help with? Do you like these kind of videos, these mental health videos? I should be like a psychologist or something. Anyway, let me know down below, and thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.